Anyway, next match was the Boozer versus Kevin Knight. It lasted 15 minutes, and I know you're shocked, but Moxley won. Now we can start talking about what happened after that. Brian, did you see this fucking mess?
Which mess specifically are you speaking of?
Well, here is what happened, folks, if you can keep track of it from the notes that I took. Of course, Moxley wins, but again, it takes him 15 minutes to do it because they think by giving these green guys long matches and then choking them out, it gets them over. And then Wheeler came in and got in a sloppy, fake kind of heat situation on Kevin Knight and Hong Kong Phooey. They stopped him. And then Darby Allin's music plays. And boy, here he comes carrying a skateboard and a body bag. And he zombie walked to the ring. And he did the thing. Wasn't this where he jumped up with the skateboard and skated off of Wheely's back? And then he put him in the bag. He put Wheeler in the bag while Kevin Knight and Hong Kong Phooey had a fight with Moxley out on the floor, but we never saw that because he was taking so long to put this other goof in the bag. But then Claudio came in and beat up Darby. And then Claudio took forever to unzip the bag and get Wheeler useless out of the bag, and then they put Darby into the bag and then zipped him up and then put the bag up on Claudio's shoulders and gave the bag an airplane spin and dropped him, and then unzipped the bag and put a chair around his neck. And we're going to stomp it while he's laying. Part of him's laying in the bag, and they've got the chair around his neck, and Claudio's going to stomp the chair. How many goddamn angles are they going to do? And nothing else is going on, right? While all this bagging, unbagging, it looked like Walmart at rush hour. And then Ospreay is there to pull Claudio out and save him from the stomp. I'm like, Jesus Christ, I can't remember who was even in this thing originally. And then Ospreay beat up Claudio and then beat up Wheeler, and then Moxley stared at everybody, and the heels wandered off while Ospreay got on the microphone and made a challenge for a tag team match, playa, in London. Player? How do you do player with an English accent? The player.
Playa.
The player. Gov, bruv.
Gov, bruv.
And it's going to be in a cage. So they just did this angle to set up a goddamn cage match between these two teams of top alleged individuals. It's going to happen in, what is it now? 9-10 days away from the thing. This was one of the biggest messes I've ever seen.
What do you think would appeal more to fans? All of these men in a cage, or loser eats worms? Because I think there's a way to avoid all these injuries. I mean, if we're just going to do stupid stuff, like take airplane spins and fucking body bags. I mean, if he didn't weigh 120 pounds, anyone else, they'd be dead. Just these bumps that he takes without looking, without seeing where he's going.
But again, if you can do an angle with a body bag, put one motherfucker in the bag and zip him up. They put the one guy in the bag and zipped him up. They took him out. They put the other guy in the bag and zipped him up. They took him out. They put him up in the thing. They took him out. They zipped him back in the bag.
We'll see what happens with the Death Riders. And of course, later on, there'll be more on this show about them putting their team together for this big London extravaganza.